Lawsuit. Legal action against someone. They filed a lawsuit against the company for breach of contract. Tack. Put things together for storage or transport. Please pack your clothes before the trip. Prescribe. Give medical instructions or rules. The doctor will prescribe medication for your illness. Universe. All of space and everything in it. Scientists study the universe to understand its origins. Skull. Bone structure of the head. The archaeologists found a human skull in the excavation. Domination. Control or power over others. The dictator's domination of the country was oppressive. Animate. Give life to or make lively. The animator will animate the characters in the movie. Accountancy. Work or profession of an accountant. She pursued a career in accountancy after graduating. Availability. The state of being accessible or obtainable. The availability of tickets for the concert is limited. Payable. To be paid or owed. The bill is payable within 30 days. Solicitor. Legal practitioner who advises clients. The solicitor provided legal advice to her clients. Departure. Act of leaving or starting a journey. The departure of the train was delayed due to bad weather. Audit. Examination of financial records. The company conducts an annual audit of its accounts. Receipt. Written acknowledgement of payment. Make sure to keep your receipt for warranty purposes. Scamper. Run or move quickly with light steps. The children scampered across the playground. Spiral. Winding or coiling in a continuous curve. The staircase had a beautiful spiral design. Encode. Convert information into a coded form. The spy used a secret code to encode his messages. Scout. Person sent out to gather information. The scout explored the forest for potential campsites. Regurgitate. Bring swallowed food back up to the mouth. Some birds regurgitate food to feed their young. Propellant. Substance used to drive forward or eject. The rocket engine uses liquid hydrogen as a propellant. Ejection. Act of forcing something out or being forced out. The ejection of the pilot from the aircraft saved his life. Barrage. Concentrated outpouring or bombardment. The soldiers faced a barrage of enemy fire. Intrigue. Secret planning or plotting. The novel's plot was full of mystery and intrigue. Transition. Process of changing from one state to another. The transition from childhood to adulthood can be challenging. Realm. Domain or sphere of activity or interest. The artist explored the realm of abstract expressionism. Ingredient. Component or element of a mixture. Flour is an essential ingredient in baking bread. Friction. Resistance encounter when one surface rubs against another. The friction between the tires and the road slowed the car down. Astronaut. Person trained for traveling in space. The astronaut floated weightlessly in the spacecraft. Banner. Large piece of cloth with a slogan or symbol. The protesters carried a banner with their demands written on it. Ounce. Unit of weight equal to 1/16 of a pound. She bought half an ounce of chocolate from the store. Technique. Method or way of doing something. The artist used a unique painting technique. Stack. Arrange in a pile or orderly heap. She stacked the books neatly on the shelf. Petrol. Fuel used in internal combustion engines. The car runs on petrol rather than diesel. Squeeze. Apply pressure to something to force it into a small space. He had to squeeze through the narrow gap in the fence. Sorrow. Feeling of deep distress caused by loss or disappointment. She couldn't hide her sorrow at the news of her friend's passing. Arboreal. Relating to trees. The monkeys are arboreal animals, spending most of their time in trees. Facade. Outward appearance that hides the true nature of something. Behind the facade of wealth, he was struggling financially. Postmortem. Examination or analysis after death. The doctors performed a postmortem to determine the cause of death. Disillusionment, feeling disappointed by unmet expectations. Her disillusionment with the movie was evident from her reaction. Subject. Person or thing that is being discussed, studied, or dealt with. The subject of today's lesson is mathematics. Blunt. Having a dull edge or point. He used a blunt knife to chop vegetables. Stockpile. Accumulate a large stock of goods or materials. The country began to stockpile food and supplies in case of emergency. Indicate. Point out, show, or suggest something. Dark clouds indicate that it might rain soon. Statistically. Relating to numerical data analysis. Statistically, men are more likely to develop heart disease than women. Universe. All of space and everything in it. Scientists study the universe to understand its mysteries. Switch. Device to turn something on or off. Please flip the switch to turn off the lights. Uncertainty. State of being unsure or not definite. There is uncertainty about the outcome of the game. Hypothesis. Proposed explanation for a phenomenon. The scientist tested her hypothesis through experiments. Ultra clean. Extremely clean or pure. The ultra-clean laboratory maintains strict hygiene standards. Mountainous. Having many mountains. They lived in a mountainous region surrounded by peaks. Trim. Cut off irregular or unwanted parts. She decided to trim the bushes in her garden. Steady. Firmly fixed, supported, or balanced. She took steady steps across the narrow bridge. Orientation meeting. A gathering to introduce and familiarize newcomers. The orientation meeting provided information about the school's facilities. Dramatic. Full of action, striking, or sudden. The play had a dramatic ending that left the audience amazed. Amorphous. Lacking a definite form or shape. The amorphous cloud slowly changed its appearance. Solve. Find an answer or explanation for a problem. He tried to solve the math puzzle, but couldn't figure it out. Blade. The flat cutting part of a weapon or tool. The sharp blade of the knife sliced through the fruit easily. Glimpse. A quick look or glance. She caught a glimpse of the sunset before it disappeared behind the hills. Bulletin. A brief report or announcement. The school bulletin listed upcoming events and important dates. Annoy. To irritate or disturb. The loud music began to annoy the neighbors. Chapel. A small place of worship, usually in an institution or private house. They held a quiet ceremony in the chapel. Subscribe. To arrange to receive something regularly. She decided to subscribe to a monthly magazine. Foil. A thin sheet of metal used for wrapping or covering. He wrapped the sandwiches in foil to keep them fresh. Invoice. A document listing goods or services provided with their cost. The company sent an invoice for the products ordered. Extra. Additional or supplementary. She brought along some extra snacks for the picnic. Transmute. To change or transform into something different. The alchemist claimed he could transmute lead into gold. Analyze. To examine something methodically and in detail. The scientist needed to analyze the data before drawing conclusions. Acoustic. Related to sound or the sense of hearing. The acoustic guitar produced a warm, resonant tone. Stall. A small compartment for selling goods or services. She set up her craft stall at the local market. Cover. To place something over or around to protect or conceal. He used a cloth to cover the table during the party. Breakthrough. A significant development or achievement. The new drug was hailed as a breakthrough in medical science. Microprocessor. Tiny computer brain. The microprocessor controls the computer's functions. Spiritual. Relating to the soul, religious matters, or the supernatural. Meditation can provide a sense of spiritual fulfillment. Concrete. A hard, solid substance made from cement, sand, and water. The workers poured concrete to lay the foundation of the building. Generalize. To make a general statement or conclusion based on specific instances. It's not always accurate to generalize about people based on their appearance.
Daily Chat English, your English learning companion.